Hey everybody, first things first, let me apologise that in the 10 plus years I've been doing motorcycle related content, I've made two bike washing videos that weren't exactly serious. I've never made a video just explaining simply how I wash my bikes. People have asked for it and it's always seemed too simple to do, but you know, I'll do it, why not? Any of the products you see in this video are not sponsored, they're things I've bought myself. And I don't advise necessarily you do any of the things that I do. I'm just saying this is how I clean mine. There's an awful lot of arguments over using this or that, or doing this or doing that. You can argue about that. I'll just keep doing what I've been doing for the past 13 years. One top tip, try and wash your bike on overcast days. Don't try and do it on really sunny days like today, because it causes the soap and stuff to dry really quickly. So I'm going to have to be quick about doing sections or rinsing it off. The first thing we need to do is give the bike a good spray down with just water, you know, to blast any of the big bits of grit and stuff off, wet all the dirt to help get off everything we can before we start using the soap. If you spray soap straight onto it, it's got so much more work to do. Okay, so now it's all rinsed off, we need to use some soap. You can use whatever you want, you decide what to use. This is some muck off cleaner with a bit of extra fairy liquid in it. I normally, and have for years, just used fairy liquid to clean my bikes. I'm not going to get into that argument. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. I don't have a problem with it. Anyway, this is mostly muck off. And the sun's gone away at just the right time. I have a couple of different cloths and some sponges because I only want to use one sponge on the paintwork, sort of the top of the bike, and the other one's on the bottom half, because the bottom half's going to have the bigger gritty bits and pieces in it that can scratch your paintwork, and if you don't use the same sponge you're not going to be wiping those things into the, you know, from the bottom to the top. And so it's perfect that the sun's gone away for this minute while we've actually got soap on the bike, because if the sun comes out on it, it starts to dry and leave residue marks and all sorts. Okay, I better rinse that off quick before the sun dries it. It's really important to get all the old lube off your chain before we put new lube on, otherwise you end up in a big gunky mess. So I've got some paraffin, aka kerosene, on a chain brush, and I'm just going to brush the chain and move it around. As I say, you can use any chain degreaser product wherever you want to use. Paraffin's a bit of an old school thing, some people might not like it. As I say, don't do it, use a different type of chain degreaser if you see fit. But I'm now going to leave that for 5 minutes just to soak in a bit, and then we'll get it all out. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes or so. I'm going to give it one last sort of going over. See, it's easy to do it by hand. Don't be tempted to do it with the engine on. Right, I'm just going to cover it in soap one more time, and also get it on the chain. You don't need a spray top to foam things. Shake it in a bottle. Yeah? Okay, now I want to give it a really good rinse. Try and wash as much of this kerosene and the soap and everything out of the chain. It'll also blast the dirt out. You can see all the black coming out of it. Okay, so now it needs to dry off. Normally I would take it up to the garage and blow it off with the airline, but I'm not moving it off the paddock stand and backwards and forwards, so I'll grab a cloth and come out in a minute and just sort of chamois off most of the water. There's going to be some watermarks left behind. It doesn't matter because I'm going to use a polish afterwards that will get rid of all of that. And any little bits of dirt we missed. So there we go, we've dried off most of the panels. Ideally you want to leave it for a couple of hours or so to properly dry before doing the next stage. I'm a bit pushed on time today, so I might only get half an hour. But I've taken the water off most of the panels, and it is pretty warm today, a nice breeze, so hopefully it will dry quite fast. Okay, so now the bike's basically dry, I want to use some polish on it and also lube the chain. Now you can use a multitude of different waxes. I'm using Muck Off Speed Polish. This is not an ad for Muck Off. I just really like the speed polish. One of the reasons I like it particularly is that on white plastics and things it helps get rubber boot marks and things like that off that water and soap doesn't. So lightly dust the bits you want to polish, including plastics. It's great for plastics. Don't get it on your brake discs and stuff like that, or your seat, as previously mentioned in a recent video. I also like to use this on the fork tubes, but don't spray it on them, spray it on a cloth. And then do any bits that you don't want to spray anywhere near. And once that spray's gone kind of misty, cloudy looking, and it's dried a bit, but not too much, you just get a cloth, a nice soft clean one, and buff it all out. One of the other benefits of cleaning your bike is you get to actually look at it a bit and realise, look, this cowl's loose. There we go. So I've just sprayed the chain with some lube, not too much, not too little. This stuff goes a bit sticky after a while, so it's good to put it on, run it round a bit, and then leave it before you ride it, and it shouldn't fling too much. I've just cleaned off the brake disc with some brake cleaner and a clean piece of kitchen roll, just to get any wax or grease or anything that's on there off. But always be careful and test your brakes when you first ride the bike. So there you go, that is it. That's how I clean my bike. There is nothing spectacular to it. There's no particularly expensive products or anything. It's just soap, water, elbow grease and some polish. And yeah, that's good. That polish thankfully leaves like a coating of, I think it's carnauba wax or something like that, a little bit of it, and it helps keep the muck from sticking on it, and it helps cleaning it in the next time, as long as you do it regularly enough. In a week or two I might go back over it with some speed polish over the main plastics, but I won't do the lower half of the bike for another month or so. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it, and hit the subscribe button if you're new here. If you'd like to help support this channel, please consider doing that through Patreon. And I'm currently in a swarm of flying ants, I've just noticed. Oh my god, what is going on? And there's seagulls everywhere. Oh, what fun times. Right, anyway, thanks for watching, bye.